All right, we are on the record in the matter of Ajane Colson, 23352A. And appearance, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke appearing on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Thank you. Ms. Colson, if you can please unmute and state your name for the record.
Ajane Colson.
All right, thank you. And today's the date scheduled for a probation violation. Ms. Colson is on probation for operating while intoxicated by alcohol and failed display of valid license, no operator's license. And counsel, it's alleged that your client tested positive for alcohol on May 17th, which is approximately a month after she was placed on probation. And what's happening today?
Your Honor, my client understands that she could have a violation of probation hearing that will not be necessary. She's prepared to send her guilty plea.
All right, and ma'am, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, and you heard the allegation, correct?
Yes.
And as the allegation you tested positive for alcohol, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, can you please turn the TV off or mute it, please? All right, thank you. And you understand the recommendation in this matter is for you to continue and complete all terms of probation, pay a $50 probation violation fee, and have increased testing. Do you understand that?
Yes, yes, I do.
Yes, I'd like to direct your attention to the terms and conditions of your probation. Did you test positive for alcohol on May 17th, 2023?
Yes.
How it was put on here was two separate violations, but one violation, but because there's two charges she's on probation for, it's separated out. So, all right, and so ma'am, I'm sorry, counsel, I asked for the recommendation.
It has to be adopted, Judge.
Ma'am, what is it that you had to drink?
I was at actually that whole day I was going to like two of my cousins' prom send off, and I didn't know that the little punch they had there was jungle juice, and I had a cup, and that was about it. And when I went to go test it that day, I guess I tested positive, which I did not know it was alcohol in there. That was my big mess up, but that one never happened again. That I will know.
Okay, well, ma'am, when you began probation, wasn't it explained to you that you're responsible for knowing what you're consuming?
Yes, and one in that list, all the do's and don'ts, even though it's common sense that I know I wasn't supposed to drink because that's what my case is, but I didn't see that like not on the do not list. So, but that was just a big understanding on my behalf, which will never happen again. I'll never violate nothing like that to jeopardize my freedom or anything like that. That will never happen again.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did you say is not on the do not list?
No, I was saying like everything that you guys have on the probation thing, like the don't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. I didn't see the you can't drink part, even though it was common sense because that's what my case is. But I'm not saying that gave me the green light to drink or anything, nothing like that. It was a big understanding on my behalf.
Okay, well, ma'am, there is a spot on your probation order that says, and I'm going to read it to you. On number 10 on your order of probation, it says no alcohol/drug use without a prescription, -random testing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have read over that.
So if you're talking about the other document, if it doesn't say do not drink alcohol, of course it's not going to say that because it's already on your probation order.
Right. That's why I said I must have misread it. That was a big misunderstanding on my end.
And so you knew that it was jungle juice?
No, I did not. It's a prime send off. These kids is young. I did not know it was Jungle Juice. I thought it was just something that was out there. It ain't like it was an adult party.
So you didn't notice that you were consuming alcohol when you took a few
No,
sips of the jungle juice?
no, I did not. See,
You couldn't tell that you couldn't
no, I
taste
could
the
not.
alcohol.
No, I could not taste the alcohol at all.
And so both prom send-offs, you went to 2 prom send-offs?
Yes, I went to 2 prom send-offs that day. The first one, I had like we had like 1 cup. The second one, I didn't drink anything at there.
And when was it that you tested after the prom send-off? The next day?
Yep, the very next day. And how they got it set up, they text you like five or something in the morning to let you know you have to report something like that. And it was literally that next day.
Right. And so what time was the prom send-off?
The prom send off was like from the very first one, that one was like from 4, I'll say like 4 to about, well, I don't really know when it end. I only stayed for about an hour. And then the next one, I stayed for about an hour and like 20 minutes. That one was from like 5 to 6.
Okay, and you're telling me that you only consumed 1 cup of the jungle juice?
Yes. And no, it did not
And
taste like
then,
alcohol. I would have never even consumed it. I'm not even thinking it's alcohol at this prime dog. Mind you, these kids are 17, 18. I'm not thinking it's no type of liquor.
okay, and and so approximately 24 hours later,
I
you
had
were
to go
still in
report for
the,
testing because I don't got, it ain't like I got days of testing. I have random testing. I don't know when I'm going to test. I have random testing.
correct, correct. But you tested, your level was 5,020 nanograms per milliliter. That's pretty high for only having 1 cup and being tested almost 24 hours later.
I don't know the measurements. All I know was I had 1 cup on my behalf.
Well, ma'am, you need to make sure that you are asking whoever made the punch, what is in the punch? What is in anything that you're drinking if it's not labeled? That is your responsibility.
Yes, you was correct. That is noted. I will now ask on everything that I drink.
And you didn't notice that you felt any different after consuming the jungle
No,
juice?
that's why I said no, I didn't. It was only 1 cup. That's why I said it didn't taste like it was alcohol in there or anything.
All right, so what about these warrants that you have out for your failure to appear in 36th district? Have you started taking care of those?
Yes, I've been cleared those warrants. I don't know why they still say that they're on there, but I've been cleared those warrants. When I get off Zoom today, I'm gonna send my probation officer my work schedule. Some I think Wednesday I'm supposed to be going to go to a couple of community service places. Then once we get off the phone too, I'm about to pay half of that 450 that I owe. I got 200 ready to pay that. Oh, and I got my work schedule. He said, well, I asked my boss, did she need to print up anything to show that I'm working there? But he said he didn't need nothing like that. He said just send him my work schedule. So I'm about to send that to him. Only thing I haven't completed was the something like the drivers. It was the drivers something test and the control substance abuse. It's very hard for me to find one of them because first of all, I'm not used to nothing like that. I don't know where to look. And all the places that I've been looking, they've been giving me the runaround. So I'm having a problem with that. And what was the
Okay,
other.
so, all right, so if you are having an issue with finding a place for outpatient substance use counseling, you contact the probation department, okay?
Yes, no, I did. I did. Sometimes they don't get back with me quick enough. Like then, first of all, my probation officer was just switched on me. So, and then he
You're
don't
correct.
like, I'm used to, I can be able to call or text message my probation officer. The ones I have now is just through email. And like, I really don't use email. I'm used to calling or texting, and
I
they
understand that,
prefer
but
they prefer through email, so they don't get back with me quicker than I'd be thinking for them to get back with me.
well, ma'am, what is your definition of quick?
I'm thinking like reply the same day, not the next day.
Okay, and sometimes that can happen, other times it can't. Because, I mean, obviously, you're not the only person that's on probation with the
Right.
probation officer, and when we have cases coming out of court, those cases sometimes jump in front of, people that have to have a response and whatnot. So the
Right.
next day is not unreasonable, the next day is pretty reasonable. So are you working?
Yes.
Very good, where are you working?
I'm working at a boutique. It's like a woman's boutique, sell women's clothes, sometimes men's clothes here and there. It's called.
What about your GED, how's that coming?
That's going good. I actually my brother just referred me to Goodwill. It's on Woodward. I go to them every Thursday. I just registered last Thursday. So this Thursday I go take a pre assessment test so they can see where I'm at to either do I gotta study and test some more, or they don't just straight make me take my GED. Like if I'm straight ready to take my GED. But I told them I wasn't ready. I'ma need some pre-assessment tests.
So here's what I'm going to do. Number one, I heard what you're saying, but I am pretty confident that you had more than one cup, or it was a much larger cup than your average cup. Number two, you're on probation for less than a month before you tested positive for alcohol. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to indicate that you are to complete and continue all terms of probation. You're to pay a $50 probation violation fee. The court's going to indicate random testing is going to be increased and mandatory jail for any future violations. Okay?
I'm sorry, you went out on the last one. What was that?
Any future violations, there's mandatory jail.
Oh, okay. Yes, I understand.
So I'm going to be very clear. If you're at a gathering, you're at graduation parties or anything else, anything of the like, you need to make sure before you have anything that you're finding out what's in what the ingredients are in that concoction, food or drinks. Got it?
Yes, I absolutely understand.
Because I don't want to hear if you're coming back that somebody was cooking with wine or beer or something like that, and that's why you tested positive.
You don't have to worry about me not coming back. Only way I will be coming back is you discharging me from probation. You don't have to worry about no more violations, no more anything.
All right, so the court's going to indicate that as a recommendation, you're going to email in your probation by 10 o'clock, okay? And then you'll get your new color.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I don't understand.
So your testing is being increased. So you're going to get a new color.
Oh,
okay?
You said a new color?
Well, I'm sorry. Because you're testing at JAMS, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So then they will contact you. They'll send you text messages, but you'll be assigned a new color. I believe is how JAMS does it, the same as DNA, but you're getting text messages. So, okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Email into probation by 10 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to go off the record. In the matter of Jill DeBell, 23241, and appearance, counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client, this time consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Thank you. Ms. DeBell, please unmute and state your name for the record, please.
Jill Duval.
All right, thank you. And today is the date scheduled for a jail review. On April 5th, Ms. DeBell was sentenced to 30 days jail, suspended with the jail review of today's date. The court did remove the tether at that time, and that was as a result of her plea on her sentence on her plea of attempted retail fraud. In addition to the jail review, there's also a probation violation where it's alleged that Ms. DeBell tested positive for marijuana on May 2nd of 2023. And counsel?
Your Honor, I saw the recommendation on the jail review. I asked to be adopted. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, and then what about as to the probation violation?
Your Honor, it's a technical violation. We're not going to contest this. My client understands she could have a hearing in which she could contest the results. That won't be necessary.
Ms. DeBell, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or from the testimony about to give this man the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I'm sorry?
I said yes.
Okay, thank you. It came through muffled. All right. As to the allegation you tested positive for marijuana on May 2nd, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand the recommendation on your violation is for you to continue and complete all terms of probation, pay a $50 probation violation fee, increase your testing, and serve 5 days jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea?
I believe so. I mean, I tested positive for marijuana. I haven't done it since I
We're ready to proceed, Judge.
Okay, so ma'am, you want to continue with your plea, correct?
Yes.
All right, counsel, if you can please run to your client.
Yes, I'd like to direct your attention to May 2nd, 2023. Did you take a test as a condition of probation and test positive for marijuana?
Yes.
Satisfied, Judge. I'd ask the recommendations to be adopted.
Thank you. All right, the court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violation, indicate technical violation number 1. And ma'am, when did you use the marijuana prior to testing?
As soon as I got my medical marijuana card, I believe that.
And ma'am,
sorry.
okay, let me ask you a few questions. You do not have that medical marijuana card prior to being placed on probation, correct?
No, I did not.
And so it was explained to you upon your, I guess your submission of your card that you needed to have a note from your treating physician as to your the medical necessity of your card, and that there's been a treating relationship between you and the doctor, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And so your medical marijuana card at this point is not recognized by this court because you're still missing one of the pieces that you need. Have you submitted that yet?
No, I have not. I don't have an attending physician. I go to a residency center when I need medical attention. I see a different doctor every time I go.
Okay, but you have a treating relationship with that center, correct?
Yeah, the clinic.
Okay, so is that clinic a medical marijuana clinic or like an urgent care type of clinic?
No, it's called Monroe Relief Clinic. It's just a clinic here in Monroe.
Okay, do they specialize in marijuana or is it more of a general practice?
Marijuana.
That is one of the reasons why this court, even given the recent case law, the court is still within its discretion to require you to have a treating relationship with the physician that's prescribing the medical marijuana to you, because that's not something that you had prior to being placed on probation.
Correct.
And you are aware of that, ma'am, and yet you still decided to partake in marijuana.
Yes, I use it for headaches, nausea, anxiety. I was told by the clinic that if I had a card, I couldn't get in any trouble. But that's just here in Monroe. I didn't realize in Wyandotte it's like that.
Well, ma'am, with all due respect to the medical clinic, they're not the judge that's presiding over your case. This court has put an order in effect that says you're not to use any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. Furthermore, if there's a prescription for marijuana because you didn't have one previously, that is why this court requires that next step to make sure there's a treating physician, there's a treating relationship between you and your physician that's prescribing the marijuana.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When you were sentenced, ma'am, you were under the care of a nurse practitioner. Where does that nurse practitioner work out of?
She works out of the hospital. She prescribes my antidepressants.
Okay, so therefore, that is one of the reasons this court requires something from a medical professional that you have a treating relationship with, because marijuana does interact with various drugs. So you are prescribed 5 different medications.
Yes.
And the court also, in addition, when there is a history of substance use or controlled substance use, even if it's regulated by a doctor, there's still concerns that you're supplanting one addiction for another. The recommendation is for you to continue to complete all terms of probation, face probation violation fee, increase your testing, and serve 5 days jail. That's for this violation. And so the court's going to adopt that recommendation. So you need to report me on today for jail.
What? I was under the impression that this jail sentence would be suspended.
Well, let me clarify. So on your jail review, the recommendation was for your jail review to be adjourned for 2 months. On your probation violation, the recommendation is for 5 days jail.
I was under the impression that I wasn't going to have to go to jail.
Ma'am, on your probation order, it indicates mandatory additional incarceration for any violation. And here we are for a violation. The court already suspended your 30-day jail term that the court sentenced you to back in April.
Well, if I go to jail, I'm going to lose my job of 10 years.
Well, ma'am.
Your Honor, would potentially request a report date so that you could make the necessary arrangements.
How much notice do you need to give to your employer, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
How much notice do you need to provide to your employer?
If I tell them, there's no way I could miss 5 days and keep my job.
You don't have any paid time off. You've been there for 10 years.
Yeah. I've had time off. I don't have 5 days to take.
All right, well, ma'am, let me just indicate this. You were charged with retail fraud, and you were given an amended charge of attempt retail fraud, despite having 3 prior retail fraud convictions on your record. The most recent one was December of 2021.
Right.
You received a very generous plea. This court indicated at the time of sentencing, in addition to some other conditions, incarceration, and we suspended that for a jail review. The court also indicated mandatory additional incarceration for any violation of probation. And here we are today on a violation of probation. You were put on notice, ma'am, that there's mandatory jail for any violation.
Well, I didn't think I would be violating having a card. I didn't think I would be violating. I didn't know. I figured if I had a card in Monroe, they told me when I got it here, and I know it's not the judge, it's not you, but that's what I was told, that I wouldn't be in any harm's way by smoking marijuana. I mean, I with all due respect, I don't really understand why I'm on a alcohol or drug anything for retail fraud.
Because that's one of the conditions this court placed.
Given
your history, ma'am, because given your criminal history, given your substance use history, that is why.
I don't have a substance abuse history.
Ma'am, during your pre-sentence investigation, it was indicated that you had previously been addicted to pain pills for 3 years.
That was 20 years ago almost.
Ma'am, and you had attended outpatient substance use counseling in the past. Most recently, 4 to 5 years ago. And then given the fact that now there's another retail fraud, the court wanted to make sure that you were not continuing to consume any alcohol and drugs that were not prescribed, that perhaps could have been a motivating factor for some of this. So that is why the court ordered what it did. So the court will give you, what's your schedule, ma'am?
I work 3 to 3 a.m. till 3 p.m., 6 days a week.
Okay, well, you'll have to communicate with your employer and see if there's some days you can have off. I'll give you until Friday to report.
Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's impossible to pay my fines if I lose my job. I've paid $500 on my fine so far.
Okay, ma'am, if you end up losing your job, you'll have to communicate with probation so they can adjust your payment plan and suspend your payments until you obtain a new job.
Well, I'm not looking for a new job. I'm not ready to spoil my life. You're trying to ruin my life.
Ma'am, with all due respect, I am not the one that consumed the marijuana and violated probation.
I know, but it's not necessary for me to be on something like this. Everybody says it. It's not just me.
And ma'am, there could have certainly been an appeal of this court sentence, and there was not. So, so the court's indicating 5 days jail. You need to report on Friday, June 9th. Contact probation, your probation officer, and she'll give you the information as to how to report. As to the jail review, the court will adjourn the jail review for 2 months to August 7th at 9:30 a.m. Anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, ma'am?
I just don't see why I'm gonna lose my job of 10 years over this.
Ma'am, this court put you on notice that there would be mandatory jail for any future violation.
Yeah,
You're here for a violation. Excuse me. You're here for a violation. You tested positive for marijuana. This court has not approved your marijuana use at this point. Therefore, the court is speaking through its written orders, and it's 5 days jail.
Like I said, I don't understand why this is gonna ruin my whole life over smoking some marijuana for something that makes me feel better when I am in pain.
Then ma'am, then you need to follow the court's directives as far as what's required in order for you to be able to use marijuana for medicinal purposes.
Well, if I get a note from the doctor that gave me the marijuana card, I was under the impression it isn't good enough.
The one that gave you the medical marijuana card, correct? You don't have a treating relationship with that person. You have a treating relationship with a nurse practitioner that's prescribes to you your other medication, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then that would be the medical professional that you need to chat with.
Okay. If I am to get a letter from a physician, would this suspend this 5 days jail?
No, ma'am, because you didn't have one at that time. No. Please email into your probation officer by 10:30. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day. We're going to be off the record.
20 years. No. Oh my God. What a asshole. What the hell is a lawyer doing for you? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh my God. Who's the one that told you about that?
Mr. Bell, you're still in court and you're not muted, so you need to sign off and email into your probation officer by 10:30.
Sign off. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure how to do that.
Just tap your screen and hit leave meeting.
Leave meeting.